Imagine you're in the exam hall and you're writing your summary, 120 words, right? So you count your words like 110, 115, then 119, and suddenly you realize that you haven't even covered half the main points there. You're out of space. So you're not alone in this, I think. Everybody feels the same way. It's not about writing fast in exams, it's about writing smarter in exams, right? So let's find out how. Start with October-November 2025 series, and this one is variant 11. First, you should read the question, right? According to text B says studying penguins. So let me have this marker. Okay. What are the benefits? First thing is this: what are the advantages or the benefits of something that is explained here? That is proposed changes, right? You have means we have brought changes to some method. So the proposed changes to the ways in which scientists study penguins means traditionally the penguins were studied in a different way, and now there are some new methods introduced, right? So what are the benefits of these things? What are the advantages of using such new methodology, you can say? So this is a question, 120 words you have to write. And now let me take you to the, now look at the text. We're just finding all the benefits now, right? Penguin spotting is a lonely job, right? Earlier, means traditional method was like this, that it was a lonely job. So this point can be of your interest, right? In the name of science, you sit on the beach for hours watching one African penguin after another while they pass on their way somewhere more fun. So basically, we are just getting the points first. You note down how many you saw and when, and then keep on waiting means you keep on waiting one by one. You are just studying penguins. Time passes slowly. Finally, the penguins all walk back home, and you note that down to with the noting down all finished. You too can head home. Knowing not only is your job, it's time consuming, right? So, but it's also prone to mistakes. Okay, prone to mistakes. So this is a traditional method. I'm not saying that you write about this, but the thing is we are looking for the benefits here. But it may be of your interest, right? Because if you understand this thing, then you just write the benefits as well. These are the disadvantages, right? That's a lonely job. Nobody's with you. You keep on waiting. You waste your time. It's time consuming. You spend hours there, and then in front mistakes means it's not an accurate method as well. So when you bring some new methodology, it may give you the good results opposite to that, right? So these are your points then. For example, happily, second paragraph. Now, happily, biologists may not have to continue getting sand in their trousers. Specialists are building more accurate systems, so prone to mistakes. Now, these methods which they're using, they're more accurate, right? Okay, what is this new methodology? They're using CCTV, cameras, artificial intelligence, right? AI they're using. Distinguish one African penguin from another, so you can identify all the penguins. So you can distinguish this methodology. These are the benefits of using such methodology. You can identify one penguin from the other one, meaning that scientists can get on with more important things. So more important things you can talk about now with this kind of methodology. Paragraph 3 says the camera is positioned in the way where penguins are expected. When one shuffles past, software checks to make sure the penguin looking closely for the color patterns that penguins breed all share black head. Okay, the thing is, if you're using this methodology, new methodology, it can tell you that it can tell you color patterns. Those here, that penguins breed all share black head, white neck means something in something deeply they are talking about. This methodology can give you in-depth study. Then the ring of the black around a white abdomen. Okay. As humans, we can't always detect or recall. Yes, this one, recall, your memory is not that much good enough, as good as this technology. So we human beings, we may make mistakes. We can forget things. But with the help of this new technology, it can recall things, right? Additional arrangement of the spots on the stomachs that is unique to each penguin. But the fact that the camera can open up another possibility for CCTV, so you can have in-depth study. It can recall things better. It can even recall that might be possible the same penguin coming again. It lets the software recognize which penguin is which, right? So this is the pattern. This is we are knowing more about penguins here. Penguins' behavior, we can say. These unique markings that identify each penguin help scientists learn more about their lives, more about their lives. So, with the help of this, you have an in-depth study of their lives. A scientist explains, you know, if specific penguin has been here before and whether it has a friendship group and if it hunts with the same group. Okay, so friendship patterns or coming with the same group or with the different groups, you can identify that. So this is one of the benefits. You find out whether the same penguins come back to the same place every year at the same time, assisting in our project breeding. So this will help them for breeding conservation, right? We used to put a tag or a band on them for identification purposes, but that was probably comfortable for the penguins and not very safe. Benefits are not just penguins related. Another benefit here now. It is not only penguin related. Studying the physiological features, it can help you discover more things, explore more things. What is, for example, studying how deep, how long penguin can dive without breathing. So if you check this pattern, if you monitor this pattern, it can teach you how to develop more effective anesthetics. This one is another benefit. Good. So what's more, the smart TV system? Okay, this one, fine. So this is now how many points you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At least 10 points you are having here, right? So the next step is we are having another point here. That one, what's more, the smart CCTV system will free lonely biologists from penguin watching duty. After all, no one should have to be bored at the beach. So it's the same thing which we started with. Means boring. It's no more boring now with the new technology, and you're not feeling lonely anymore. So these are all the points you have gathered. All the points now. Now the next step. What is the next step now? Next step is to change all these words into means use their synonyms, right? You are not supposed to use the same wordings from the text. So this is your second step. First step is you just write, you just underline or highlight all the points, all the relevant points. Now this next step is to change them into the synonyms. For example, if you have lonely job, right? If you say lonely job, something, some job that is done, some duty that you are doing alone. So you can say something which is done in isolation, right? When it is something, when you say, for example, it's time consuming. Okay, no more. Now this is not. This is again might be it's again time consuming, but the thing is you are utilizing your time in a productive way now. You are not just keep on waiting for one penguin now to come and now you have in bulk. So you can say more accurate systems you are having now. What are the benefits? So benefits of using the latest technology, it is giving you accurate data, or you can say precise data. So accurate means precise data, something you can really trust on. Okay, now the second thing is the CCTV means cameras and the artificial intelligence you are using, AI you are using. So to distinguish, okay, what are you, why you're using this? To distinguish one penguin from the others, you can say to identify individual penguins, right? More important things, you're doing more important things means you're not only wasting your time on one penguin, you're collecting more than one thing now. You're collecting data regarding more than one thing. Now, next point, next paragraph. For example, you can say when you are using technology, it can recall things better than the humans, right? So means their memory, means machine memory is better than the humans. Humans may forget something. So they can identify, detect, or identify, you can say, means you're using different wordings there. So the software, this technology can recognize, or you can say can they can identify better than the human eye, right? More about their lives. So the thing is, you are having in-depth study of these penguins. You you talk about the friendship patterns or the grouping, so you can say how socially they behave, right? So you are just studying their social patterns. So next is breeding and conservation. You can say breeding means their reproductive system simply. So you're just changing these wordings, right? And then physiological features, it means something related to their systems, means how the system functioning, more effective anesthesia, in aesthetics. What about that? It means you can use the word sedation, therefore, for this word. So basically, okay, when you have this bored at the beach, this no more boring job, you can say something which is not monotony, which doesn't have monotony, right? If something has the same pattern, it means that you get bored. So now these words are very simple, right? You can change them into the other wording. So now the third step is how you combine all these words, means all the common ideas together. And I just suggest you to use connectives or these ghost markers, right? Mean this, it will show coherence there. So how can you write all these points in the form of summary now? You can start like the newly proposed methodological changes, means which comprises modern artificial intelligence. You can say remote camera systems. You are not using CCTV word, so you say camera systems. What does it do? It enhances penguin research in several different ways, right? Let's suppose this is your start. So one of the ways is by replacing monotonous as the same way it was boring activity. You're not writing the same word boring, you say monotonous or the solitary field work, because when you are in isolation or you are lonely there, you feel lonely in field work. So it's field work, right? Because you are studying penguins there. So the thing is, you can use the word field work by replacing such monotonous or solitary field work with something different that is automated or rapid analysis. What can you get in return? Researchers are, they get free to pursue more meaningful scientific, analysis. So this advanced software, or you can say this advanced technology, easily outperforms human observation. And what is like human observation means they may have errors. So it is minimizing these errors, and it guarantees a highly precise data collection. So earlier you're not having accurate data, but now you're having accurate data with you. So for the word accurate, you can say precise data. Moreover, again, you are using connectives, the technology, it identifies individual birds. You are not using the word distinguish, you say identify the individual birds without relying on the invasive, physical trackers. So it ensures that the animals experiences no discomfort. So consequently, in means as a result, what happens then? Scientists gain deep insight or deep analysis, or you can say they gain profound insights into the creature's social bonding, or you can say social interaction, right? And don't write three different sentences for these. If you are knowing more about penguins, for example, their lifestyles, you can say one is bonding, social bonding, and then you say breeding. Don't write the word breeding. You can say reproductive patterns, and then don't say physiological. You say how the body functions. The means bodily functions, right? So ultimately, then again, you have the discourse marker. You connect all the points together. Finally, you can say this comprehensive understanding, this kind of deep analysis, it directly supports vital environmental preservation, because if you do this thing, if you're not harming the creatures, what you get in return? It means it supports a vital environmental preservation initiatives while also contributing to the refinement of specialized procedures, such as advancement of safer animal, sedation techniques in you are not writing in aesthetic, you can write sedation there. Okay, again, we have October, November 2025 exam series, and here variant 12. So it's working from home. Let me just tell you, read the question for you. How means a ways, right? How should a person working from home manage challenges to the time? It means that the person who is having online work, that person faces challenges to their time, right? It means they have time challenges. So how can you give them? How can you suggest them to overcome those challenges? So this is how the question is simplified now. How should a person who is working from home, who has online work to do, he faces time challenges, how can that person manage time challenges? Means what are the different ways that the person can manage time, right? That's it. So let me take you back to the text now. Let's find now all the relevant points from this text. The following is sorry, let me have a marker with me. Okay, the following is a talk by someone giving advice to the other people who want to work from home. So we are looking for for the different ways, right? Let me start by saying this. When you run a business, your priority is making money. So this could be your point. So your preference is making money. What is your priority? This is your priority. And not letting time wasters squander your precious time. This one. So the thing is, don't let somebody that just may get benefit from you, right? Your precious time. They waste your precious time. Okay. Time wasted. So precious time is also something relevant right here. Time wasters are people who appropriate important minutes from our days, in my opinion, because when we work from home, they assume we are never busy, so they can casually drop by to say hello. So they feel that you're working from home, so they assume that you're not never busy, right? So you have to make them clear that you are busy now. They need to break that habit. So I'll tell you what I do. I give them 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minute strategy. Then I stand up and fold my arms. Means you are showing your gestures that it's time for them to go home now. Okay, then you try the same and watch how it subconsciously sends a message that you don't have time for the idle chatter, right? You're not wasting your time on other things. Then when they understand my message, I immediately thank them. Okay, you appreciate them as well. You get obliged when they understand, right? So coming round, I also smilingly explain with something like, I'm always so busy during the office hours. So these are your office hours, busy during office hours, you make them realize this thing. This is particularly challenging when the people concerned are your good friends. Okay, what happens when the good friends come your way now? Means they are your good buddies, right? You're actually pleased to see them and are tempted by the distraction. So this is kind of distraction for you. Of sharing a hot drink and some biscuits rather than toiling away at your tedious work, but time is money. Remember this thing. So basically, how to manage time, you have to change your habits a bit as well. Are you able to organize a catch up for out of hours time? So catch up with them. First, you prioritize, you must have some preferences, and then you spare some time for your loved ones as well. If so, do it quickly. The longer you leave it, the more difficult it becomes to explain. Yes, you need to explain what which one are your business hours, working hours, so you have explanations for your loved ones as well. Not everyone is a friend, of course. You start to notice how some potential clients seek your professional advice for free when you work for yourself. Weirdly, this never happened. When I worked in office, people always understood that a fee had to be paid. So you are working from home. It doesn't mean that you're not taking fee from people, right? Your time is must be valued. So you must get some fee in return. Okay, in return means when you're sharing something important with them, you should get some fee. And expertise, I used to think giving free advice, no, nothing is free now. At home would be appreciated and it would benefit me long term, but then realize my time and energy were often hijacked after nothing. Clients would go away and recommend me to others. I never lost their respect as a professional and they kept returning for more free assistance. So sounds a bit blunt, but you must get into the habit of establishing. Again means you need to channelize your habits, right? Habit of establishing your rate. So you need to have this kind of habit, establishing your rate of pay for such time from the outset, or get wished up. Some people will take advantage of you, maybe others worth spending your time. Let's learn to distinguish. Okay, they're the good people and the time wasters as well. So you must identify these people. So again, the same way you have just gathered all the points. Now the second step is again the same. You need to change these wording into your own wordings. For example, you can use synonyms here. When you have precious time, it means time is valuable time. Priority is making money. It means you set your preferences, that what is your first preference and what is your secondary importance. It means things you need to do. For example, the primary one is you're making money, right? You're working from home. It means you need money. So this is your first preference. Then if somebody is creating distractions, somebody is wasting your time, then you just set 5 minutes strategy for them. Just meet or chat with them with 5 minutes, and after that you just show through your gestures or words, anything. You need to stop this thing, right? So you need to channelize your habits as well. If your habits change, it means the person who is interacting with you will change too, right? So don't show everybody that you are not busy enough. You are busy because you're making money. So that's why you should not get tired, right? Because if you're working from home, it is possible that you do extra stuff as well as pleasing everyone. So this is how you can tire yourself, right? So if somebody understand, you must be obliged, right? Busy during office hours. Okay, so the thing is, you are not using the same wordings, you're using different. That's it. And the last one is you using connectives, discourse markers, the linkers, how you show your summary. That must have coherence. That's it. Okay, again, October, November 2025 exam series, and the variant is 13, or you can say 3 variants. According to text B, what ways, okay, in what ways, again, can living and working at Concordia Station, somebody working at Concordia Station, help a person to understanding that person working there? How can that person help the other person to understand what it might be like to go on a long-term mission to Mars? Definitely people are not living on Mars, but the thing is, person working here in that station, how easy for that person to make others understand that how long-term missions to Mars could be. Okay, now let me take you to the text. So this is a text now. Again, how many paragraphs? 3, 4, 5 paragraphs only. But remember one thing, that somebody is working there, so only that means these paragraph is important for you. For example, the interviewer not telling you the answers, right? Definitely interviewee is telling you the answer. So this might be possible that this paragraph is of importance to you, and the fourth paragraph, right? So let me read this. Scientist Beth recently spent a year at the Concordia International Research Station and in Antarctica. So it's very clear now this station is there in Antarctica. In this text, she is interviewed about her time at Concordia. So what was the question? That what are the different ways, right, we are telling? I mean, we are basically making a comparison between this place and the Mars planet, right? So interviewer asked, I understand the Concordia station is supposed to replicate. Replicate, again, it means copying something, the living conditions that astronauts experience on the long flight missions. But I'm perplexed. Since Mars is known as the red planet, wouldn't an arid desert be a closer match than a freezing white environment like Antarctica? Okay, now what's the answer here? So here you will be writing, means you're noting down all the, the ways, different ways. Mars looks red because of iron minerals in the soil and oxidize and rust, not because it's temperature. It's actually far colder on Mars. So just look at this interviewee, what answer interview is giving now. Mars looks red because of iron minerals in the soil that oxidize and rust, not because of its temperature. It's actually far colder, so far colder on Mars itself than anywhere on the Earth, but at least we got a taste what it could be like. So the person living there in Antarctica can definitely understand how low temperature it could be on Mars. So traveling in Antarctica was by huge tractor. So now traveling, the commute, if you're using a huge tractor there in Antarctica, we will probably use on overland missions when we get out to Mars. So same kind of vehicles you're using there as well. Looking out at the huge spaces around Concordia, I was struck by how travel over the vast barrens, so vast barren wastelands. This one, it means that's a deserted place. The Martian landscape wouldn't be too dissimilar, right? So very few life forms can live in Antarctica. All the polar bears are in Antarctic, remember. So it means very few creatures there, and the expectation is we won't find much sentient life roaming around. The same is the case with the Mars, that you're not having the same creatures on Mars you're familiar with, right? So nothing much to engage your eye on your mind, or your mind once you're settled, means there is no creatures. You are not interested in anything on the Mars except the vast, barren land there. So there is nothing else for your interest. So alien environment there. So this one, and you must learn to call home in Concordia. But so the thing is, alien environment, no matter how alien it is, but you have to consider it as home. In Concordia, you have to work in conditions that many would describe as extreme, so you have to work in the extreme conditions there. Some colleagues found it hardworking during the months of total darkness. You get in the dark, at least on Mars, extreme though you have day and night. So this could be a difference, that day and night there, but Antarctica there's total darkness. So now the next one, interviewee. So let's say what interviewer asked. You must have had contact with the family friends. You were able to video call them, surely. Okay, the answer is, apart from my work colleagues, I didn't see any other humans. So you are not looking at any humans, family or friends there. Some of us found this stressful, definitely it is. So we have to develop our own strategies for managing both our privacy and working together professionally. Video calling home was unreliable. We were encouraged to immerse ourselves in the experience and keep such contact infrequent. So you are not having video calling home, you are feeling homesick there as well. Maybe one day we will connect phones lines on the internet from Mars. It's only a hope, but it's not there anymore right now. But who knows? Okay, silly things like being unable to just go out and buy a favorite brand of shampoo, so you can't have grocery there. You can't go out for grocery. You have to have there in your vehicle, all 24 hours, right? And I think time is also not measured there, right? As we are measuring time here. Silly things like being unable to go out and buy your favorite brand or shampoo or soap become a bigger issue than they should. Same with the food. Okay, you can't dine out there. Though we did not have 5-star, we did have a 5-star restaurant in Korea. So this could be a difference, that there on Mars you don't have 5-star hotels, there are 5-star restaurants there, but you can have this kind of availability there in Concordia. So this is means these are the points that you can compare and contrast Concordia Station in Antarctica and Mars, right? If you go on a big missions on Mars. So the next step is you are changing them into the synonym. You're using synonyms for that. You're changing them to different words, and then you're using again the same connectors. That's it.